to the garden. Today I'm going to make a really easy compost tea. This only takes 3 simple steps. We're going to add our finished compost into a nice bucket full of water. This should be nice and dark and rich and smell like a forest floor. You want it to be 100% finished. That way it has dissolved nutrients and beneficial bacteria. I'm going to add about 3 scoops. You can even use little watering cans like this. This has been sifted, so it's really nice, fine material. I'm just going to add a couple little scoops. I'll remove the spout because this will clog all that compost. And we want to make sure that your spout is a little bit larger than the holes on your sifter. So that should be just about right. But I do prefer larger buckets because it can still get clogged in that nozzle. Step 2 is just to let this sit and steep. I like to stir it up. This is going to dissolve all the nutrients into the water. And because I'm using nice, clean rainwater, a lot of those beneficial bacteria will carry on to the garden. You can use chlorinated water, but you won't get the added benefit of the beneficial bacteria. If you start stirring on the outside and work your way in, and just speed up as you get to the center, you can create a nice vortex. That really mixes everything well. You can even hear it. We want to let this sit and dissolve into that water for a few hours, if not overnight. I'll probably give it one more really good stir before bed, and then one really good stir again in the morning before we add it to the garden. But step 3 is super simple, just water it onto your plants. You really cannot overdo it. It's such a mild fertilizer that you could use this every single time you water. I'm just going to mix this up a little bit in our little watering can, just so it doesn't clog up those holes. And you can see that is a nice, rich compost tea. As long as it's nice and sifted, it shouldn't really clog up your spout. A nice wide spout especially is really helpful for that. But these buckets are really easy for containers. You just pour it on the top and fill up that container as much as you want. There's another type of compost tea out there which is more of a starter, like a culture. It's a kind of a bacteria cocktail with aeration. It's a lot more work, and it's been contested whether it actually affects the garden. But this type of nutrient extraction compost tea is very well known, very safe and healthy for the garden, and it has excellent results. This compost tea has a lot of available nitrogen from all those food scraps and coffee grounds broken down in the compost. It has potassium from all those banana peels, calcium from the eggshells, and even a little phosphorus from bones and meats. I use those very sparingly, but they're kind of a rare ingredient when it comes to vegetables. So adding a little bone here and there really benefits that phosphorus. Beyond having beneficial bacteria and readily available nutrients, we're going to be adding beneficial insects like millipedes, even things like worms and isopods. They'll help out the garden by eating rotting material. This really simple compost tea is a great organic way to fertilize your entire garden. So I hope you give this a go. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.
bye.